How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new-ish mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called Dry Lagoon Andalusia. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, Dry Lagoon Andalusia is my first map. I spent many hours creating it. It has 26 fields, grassy areas, 3 logging areas, placed vineyards and olive trees, edited base game grain mill, edited horse enclosure, and placed hives. Placed on the map, bakery, carpentry, oil factory, grape mill. Biogas edited. Plot with 343 olive trees already planted. And this is why it's a new-ish mod map. There is a changelog. It is changelog 1.0.1.0, and it reads, New game is necessary. Script removed so it can be published to console. Added to the field 32 missing olives. Tight farmland prices. All olive trees and vineyards ready to harvest. Removed trees from farm the field 21. Leveled the field 17. Some areas of the map on the farm and in the industrial estate have areas to be finished decorating the map to your liking. There are mods required for this map, starting with the Auto Pallets Manager by Vanquish081 and the Olives and Olive Picker by Raleigh Christie 1 VSR Modding Sir. This map was created by Truck69 and is 118.12 megabytes to download. If we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. We start out here kind of off center of the map here at our starting farm. We start out by owning farmlands number 1, 14, and 30. 1 being our main starting farm area, 14 being a field which, unlike any other farm field that I've seen, it actually varies on what's in here. I've had numerous types of plants and products that have been in this field. I've had cotton. I've now got sorghum in here, I think. Is that sorghum? Yes. I've had sorghum. I've had sugar beets. Like, it just kind of cycles. So, unfortunately, I can't give you exactly what's going to be in here at start, but it is growing. And lastly, we own farmland number 30, which is this grape field right here that is ready to harvest. Fields and prices do vary on this map, but it gets pretty expensive in some places. So looking at some of the smaller areas here, we got farmland number 10 here, $60,000, a little bit bigger for $124,000, $158,000, $183,000. Let's go a little bit bigger here, $330,000, $424,000. All the way down here in the south, we got $489,000. We got this kind of wet, marshy land with a bunch of dead trees to cut down, $364,000, $350,000, and $232,000. Then we have this kind of more plush forestry area up here in the north. This one, $380,000, $312,000, and $116,000. So pretty good range as to what you're going to see here on this map. We take a look at the animals. You do start out with a animal barn. It is a horse barn. Let's see. Contracts are available on this map. Production chains to start out with. We do have quite a few of them, and these are actually rather interesting because I think, if I'm reading this properly, if we put all these combinations of items into them, they're basically just storage racks, but you get a little extra for having stuff in them. That's what it looks like, because you're putting 1 liter of bread in and getting 1.1 liter out, putting 1 liter of cereal in, 1.2 liters of cereal out, so on and so forth. Like, you're getting an increase on this, and it looks like there's a cycle, so you're going to be able to earn a little bit extra over time when you get the entire recipe in here. So that's actually kind of cool, being able to have that kind of increase, I guess. And then lastly, we have collectibles on this map, 20 of them to be precise. If we take a look at mods specific to this map, starting on the build menu, we do have a card down here that is specific to, or has mods and DLCs, but is not specific to this map. It is the Olives and Olive Picker. And then under the buy menu, we take a look here. We have nothing under buildings whatsoever, but under productions and factories, scroll to the right, you will see a couple here, the Dry Lagoon Andalusia. You will see we have a carpentry, and a grain mill. Nothing under selling points, greenhouses, orchards, or generators. We then take a look at animals. We have nothing under cows, but under horses we do have one there, the Dry Lagoon Andalusia, where we have the edited horse barn. Nothing under pigs, sheep, chickens, bees, or others. There's nothing under decorations, but under landscaping and painting. Scroll to the right, you will see there's several additional painting swatches here. Nothing for trees and nothing for plants. Now, because we're here at the starting farm, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. Starting under the buy menu and owned items. Under small tractors at the Buer 6105, medium tractors at the John Deere 7810, as well as the Massey Ferguson 3670. Harvesters, the New Holland CH770. Forklifts, we have the Junheinrich ETV 216i. Under cars, the Mahindra Retriever. Trailers, we have the Welger DK115. The header for the New Holland, a corn header for the New Holland, and plows we have the Agrimaz POV 5XL, power harrows Amazon KG 3001 Super, seeders Amazon Katea 3000 Super, under forestry equipment the Prinroth SF 900, and under front loaders we have the Quickie Q5M, front loader tools the Alba Universal Bucket and Bale Spike, a header trailer the Nardi N6030, weights, the John Deere Pickup 900, and under miscellaneous we have the Lizard Olive Picker. And that is everything. So now let's go ahead and start making our way around the farm and checking out what we have. To my left here we have a biomethane station. To my right we have an electrical charging station. And nope, around this side, and actually that just reminded me, nope, that doesn't appear to be. Do I have my... I do. Sleep trigger right here, and wardrobe trigger right here. Now if we go over here, we have our silo right here, we have our hayloft over here, and tucked away over here in this barn we have several production points. These are the AP Manager versions 1 through 5. Now you can see each one of these has their various inputs and outputs, but they are all clearly marked. So you got your kind of carpentry slash clothing area here. Over here we have our kind of greenhouse area here. We've got our oils, we've got our grape juice, sugar, and raisins. We got cheese, butter, chocolate, and fabric. And we have cakes, bread, cereal, and flour. Oh, and we got one here for eggs, honey, and wool. So yeah, we got all this stuff kind of packed up in here that we can just kind of use this as, I believe, just supposed to be temporary storage. I don't think it's actually supposed to be anything in particular. And we do have the honey spawn point. I'm glad I just saw that because I was looking for that earlier and couldn't find it. So that's nice to know. Over in this direction, though, tucked away over here, we have a bale and pallet storage here. And in here, we have our horse barn. Room for 14 horses. We have our feed that goes in here. And tucked away in the back over there, we have a beehive. That's what's going to spawn our honey. Now, tucked away over here, just on top of this little hill right here, right up here, we have the grain mill. You can purchase the grain mill for $96,000. Inputs are here and outputs are in here. And then tucked around the other side, right here, we have a repair trigger. And that's it. That is your entire starting farm. So let's go ahead, hop in the Mahindra, and go for a wild and crazy ride in this thing. As anybody is aware of my driving in the Mahindra, it gets a little bit out of control. So let's see. We're gonna follow this around over here. Whoa! See, we're already starting off strong. Now over here, exit the gate. Follow this around. Oh, and let's turn that back on. Oops, and I missed my turn. Now in the background on the kind of tiered landing up ahead of me is your grape field that you do own. It's all the vineyards and stuff that are back here you can see. So that's actually kind of a nice little feature on this map. Now tucked away over here is the debris crusher sell point. Go ahead and turn around and backtrack. We got to go right back through the farm. Nice little circular field to our left there. Not often that we get to see a circular field on any map. So as we continue to follow this around, oh. We're going to turn right back through, and now we're going to head out the south side of the farm here. You can see you got a lot of area here to be able to develop and kind of further expand your farm. So here we're going to stop. Open this. Now to my right here is the supermarket sell point. Oops, I meant to turn there. And now straight ahead of me is the biomass heating plant sell point with a wood cell trigger. Get turned back around. There's going to be several spots in this map tour where we're going to have to kind of backtrack over our tracks because of just how it's all laid out. There's kind of one way in and one way out in certain areas of this map. And this is one of them. So now we have to follow this road all the way around the southern portion of the map here to get to our next point of interest. Now, it's not necessarily a point of interest per se, not in the traditional sense, but it is just something that's on the map to kind of take note of. So you can see here coming up just to the north, kind of splits off. Be careful of this little dip right here. I thought I almost lost my equipment when I came through here. Thankfully it didn't, but you can see how it kind of plays with the camera there. Now there is a mark on the map right here, and I'll bring up the map here just a second just to kind of show, but we do have some equipment just kind of stored in this barn right here. We got the old Buer tractor as well as the Prinroth stump grinder. But if we go here and take a look, we were here on the farm. We kind of took a look at everything around here, came out, down, and around to the debris crusher. We then came back through the farm here, down to the southern portion of the farm to the supermarket, came out to the biomass heating plant, and then came up and around up to this area. It's called the Area Forestal. And yeah, it's just a kind of forestry area that you have some equipment tucked away on. But you don't own any of this area here. It is kind of swampy and something that you could potentially build up by increasing the height on the terrain there. So it is something you could build up eventually over time. But you can see just how there's a bunch of dead trees here, bunch of kind of, you know, just kind of swampy kind of look to it. But now we have a little drive ahead of us because we have to go all the way around this southern portion, up the western portion until we can get to our next point of interest. So there's a little bit of a gap between here and the next point of interest. But you can see there's quite a bit to look at. It's rather flat in some areas on this map towards the south, and it gets a little bit hilly towards the northern portion of the map as well. So you can kind of see just ahead of me how it kind of changes the terrain. Now as we drive by the water side here, definitely got to be careful in this Mahindra here because it just handles so poorly. Now there's a little hill right here, which originally I went for a very big ride right here, hit this at pretty good miles per hour, and did several flips. So now we're going to go straight ahead and catch our next point of interest. Got a large placeable area right here ahead of me, as you can see. Kind of a makings of a farm build right here. Now, tucked away over here, you're starting to see it come in the background there. That is the biogas plant. Entrance is just on the other side here. Oops, oops, oops. Right there. There we go. And can purchase this for $471,936. We have our inputs here. We have our, solid input here, liquid input here, and liquid output, aka digestate, right here. A couple bunker silos right there. And now we head on out of here and check out our next point of interest. Again, we got to backtrack a ways. So just on the other side of this placeable area here, we're going to head north, and that'll be our next point of interest. Okay. So just around this corner here. Right there. This is the grape processing unit. You can purchase this for $80,000. We have our outputs here and inputs right there. Now continuing down the road. Drive through this cut in the mountainside. And directly in front of me is the next point of interest. This is the oil mill. Come to a slow down there. We have our inputs and output right here. And right here is the buy point, $80,000 to purchase. And now we turn around and head back the way we came. And again, just one of those, we gotta backtrack a lot here because of just how the map is placed. So we'll come around here. Where we're going, we don't need roads because of this Mahindra. Now coming up here, we're gonna make a right. And we're gonna go up this hillside here. To our next point of interest. Right here is the carpentry. You can purchase this for $60,000. And we have our output in the back here. And our input is actually, I can't get to it from here. That's all right. Input is right over here with the wood cell trigger there. So up here we have yet another carpentry area. Can purchase this for $60,000. And again, inputs here with the wood cell trigger and outputs here. And as we continue down the road, we just follow this road along until we get to our main, kind of main strip on this map. Oh, and that's what I'm talking about with this. With this Mahindra, it gets wild and crazy. So down this hill here, you can see we're here on the kind of main stretch. Gas station to the left. And coming up here also on the left, open this, is the bakery. You can purchase this for $50,000. And around the back, input and output is typically about right here. I don't see the actual markers to indicate that though, but that's typically where it's at. And now going straight ahead, oof, went a little bit too quick there. We have the main shop area. Shop trigger here, whoops, and repair trigger right here. And now we're going to head to our last 2 points of interest. And it's tucked around on the back side of this mountainside over here. Make a left, oop, avoiding the cars. Up this hill. Now at the top of this hill, we make a left and follow this all the way back to our last 2 points of interest. So just on top of this hill here, directly in front of me, is the animal dealer. Go ahead and stop right here. If you want to go ahead and purchase animals, you can purchase them directly from this area here, or you can purchase them at the pens and pastures that you have placed down on the map using this animal dialogue box here. If you use this dialogue box, though, you will incur an additional fee. Essentially what's happening is the animal dealer is going to deliver the animals for you because you're here without a way to transport your animals. So that additional fee can be pretty expensive depending on the animals, depending on how many you're getting. It's going to add up pretty quickly. Now, because we only have horses here, I can only show you that horses are $300 per horse. We have room for 14 horses. That's going to be quite a bit of money at the end of the day. An extra $4,200 just in a delivery fee, $7,000 in total for the base price. You're talking $11,200 in total. So that adds up pretty quick. So you can save that money by bringing an animal trailer to this location, loading your animals directly into the animal trailer, and then transporting the animals yourself. Saves you that money, and yeah, can save you a little bit of headache too. Now, tucked away in the back over here is the animal dealer sell point. And if we approach right up here on the ground, you will see exactly what it will take. It takes your bales, it takes your cut sugar beet, your grass, your hay, your straw, your silage, your TMR, and your square bales. So it takes round and square bales. So, hey, very nice indeed. Now that is it. Now it's time to render my opinion, let you know what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. So this map, I understand that is the map maker's first time making a map. So I'm going to give it 2 grades. One that is going to be my brutal, honest opinion of how I feel about this map. And the other one's going to be taking into account this is their first map, so there's going to be some kind of learning curves, growing pains, whatever. So, giving it that kind of understanding of it's their first time making it. What would I give this map? I'd probably give this map around a 2.5, maybe a 3. Now, what makes me say this? There are lots of things on this map that just make absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. You saw right there just a few moments ago the traffic spline. It actually takes the vehicles off the main road here and then has them drive around in a circle to go back in the opposite direction. You'll actually see it come up here. That's one of the things I've noticed that really just doesn't make a lot of sense to me on this map. See, they'll turn here, come off this dirt road, and then start driving off the road, to where they could just go off the main road here and turn around off the map. And you can see a floating dead end sign. Just little things like that that just really kind of take things away from the map itself. There are areas on this map that I do like. This kind of animal dealer up on top of the hill here is really nice. Having the grape field on those kind of tiered plateaus, that's really nice. That's kind of a cool feature. I've never seen that before on another map. But one thing that really kind of stood out to me when I came on and did my walkthrough on this map was the fact that you have only arable starting equipment. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you don't get a standard field to start out with. You get something that varies each and every time. This field here, the field 14, like I said, I had it cotton, I've had it sorghum, I think I had it barley at one point as well. So it's kind of randomly generates to whatever is available or whatever it just decides that it wants to be. Well, the problem is that if it's cotton, like it was for the first time it came on, I don't have any of the equipment to do cotton. You don't have that. So that's a big deal. And cotton's not a cheap product to be able to go into equipment-wise. Even if you're leasing everything, it's like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 to be able to lease the equipment to be able to harvest your product, let alone to be able to kind of do everything all over again. Then the other thing, same thing, is kind of the missing equipment. There's going to be a kind of a running theme here. You start out with grapes as a starting product, and you have no way to harvest those grapes, and they're ready to harvest. You also get you don't get these, but there's a whole bunch of these fields here that have olives, have additional grapes, as we can see here. There's quite a bit. You don't own these, but it's something you can build up to. But in the north, we have an olive picker. That's part of our starting equipment. You can see right here in our miscellaneous, you got the olive picker. In the north is the whole olive grove, right up here in the north right here. The problem is that we don't own the olive grove, so having that as part of our starting equipment really doesn't make sense either. So it's just one of those, like, there's certain things about this map that just doesn't add up. There's that road dip in the south where you're driving through and all of a sudden you're in, like, underwater because the whole road just kind of disappeared underneath the water line there. That doesn't make sense. There's the road in the north where on that turn there's just a huge bump, a huge hill right there in the middle of the road. Again, that doesn't add up and make sense. Just there's so many different things on this map that just really kind of leaves me stumped at the end of the day. So it's just one of those, I have a really hard time with wanting to like this map. So there's all those things that I feel like if they were worked on, if they're improved. And again, I think you get this one random olive tree out in the middle of nowhere here. Yeah, olive tree. So this should produce olives eventually. It's something that you could put the shaker on and eventually get it. It just in a random spot on the map. Like I said, it just those little things. Like this dip in a road right here. This is what I was talking about earlier. I don't know. Just things just don't add up. You got this little what's normally a bakery or a sell point right here on the waterfront here. But it doesn't work as a sell point. It doesn't work as anything. I didn't try buying the land because it was several $1 million to buy, but it's just one of those, even if it's something that's functional only if you buy the land, that doesn't seem to add up to me. Like I said, there's just so many different things about this map that really just kind of leave me stumped and scratching my head. So, all in all, what would I give this map if it was just a brutal, like, how I feel at the moment, not taking into account that this is the person's first time making it? I'd probably give this map a 1, maybe even a half. Like, it's just not my cup of tea. There's some things about it that are very nice and charming, but at the end of the day, I just don't... There's so many kind of things that kind of stick out to me that doesn't make it something that I could consider enjoying playing and all that. And that's just me. You know, at the end of the day, I don't mean this as a personal spite against the map maker themselves. These are all supposed to be constructive criticism, so I hope that it's taken that way. It is nothing personal, and I hope that if this gets back to the map maker, that they take this back and try to, you know, improve on this. You know, I don't want them to be discouraged. I'm thankful and grateful for every single map maker out there who puts this content out there, because this is, I'm not the arbiter of all things that is correct. So there are going to be people out there who are going to be like 100% in disagreement with me. So at the end of the day, that's how I feel about this map, and yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. I hope that you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things. The algorithms enjoy you doing. This shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And as I spin around, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.